Good evening and welcome to War Thunder's website. We've got another Devblog coming in today. It's the HMS Dreadnought. We're excited as all get out to see these larger vessels come into the naval in War Thunder. One of the best parts about these large ship Devblogs is listening to the best ship reviews ever with just the right amount of dry humor. Those of Drakkenfell. Love his dry sense of humor coming through in every video. Check out his guffaw-inducing video at the link in the description. And here's a nice little quote for you. At under £2 million, the HMS Dreadnought was also cheaper than some iPhones. The HMS Dreadnought was the lead ship of a class of battleships that revolutionized naval technology, sparking a naval arms race that spanned the globe. This vessel was such a sea change that vessels that preceded her and that she rendered obsolete were considered pre-dreadnoughts. For such a revolutionary ship, she actually had a relatively unremarkable service history, with her only notable engagement being that of sinking the U-29 by ramming. She missed the Battle of Jutland entirely as she was in the midst of a refit. Prior to the launch of the Dreadnought, capital-sized naval vessels would sport a mixed armament salvo of medium and large caliber. Combined with technology making engagements out to 6,000 yards not just possible but commonplace, gunners were required to wait for the splash of their shells in order to make firing corrections. This wouldn't be a problem, except the splashes of the medium and large calibers looked so similar as to be indistinguishable at range, thus concealing the splashes of the larger rounds and spoiling any attempts to calculate the changes. Enter HMS Dreadnought. This vessel kept a single primary broadside of large caliber cannons and dispensed with the medium caliber ones. While she still sported a secondary broadside of 3-inch guns, these were not capable of these longer ranges and were relegated to close-in defense against smaller vessels. Gunnery isn't the only innovation the Dreadnought brought to the table. She was also equipped with the new turbine engines that improved the speed of this vessel compared to older technology. She also sported longitudinal bulkheads to protect magazines and shell rooms from underwater explosions, such as from a torpedo. The HMS Dreadnought was 527 feet long, with a beam of 82 feet 1 inch and a draught of 29 feet 7.5 inches at the deep load. She displaced 18,120 long tons normal load and 20,730 long tons deep load. She was powered by two paired sets of Parsons direct drive turbines driving 4 shafts, each spinning an 8-foot 10-inch diameter 3-bladed propeller. These turbines needed a lot of steam, so 18 Babcock and Wilcox boilers were installed in 3 boiler rooms. She was designed for a sprightly 23,000 shaft horsepower, but managed 27,018 during trials that drove the ship to 21.6 knots. The Dreadnought sported 10 12-inch 45 caliber Mark 10 guns and 5 turrets, with 3 along the center line and 2 wing turrets. She could bring a broadside of 8 guns or bring 6 to bear fore and aft. She was also outfitted with an early fire control system, which was actually removed so as not to conflict with her flagship duties. A newer fire director was installed sometime after 1915. 27 3-inch 12-pounder Mark I guns were sprinkled around the superstructure. By 1907, this was reduced to 24 guns, then 2 more were removed by 1908. Two more above that from the secondary battery were removed during the refit in 1917. A pair of 6-pounder AA guns were added in 1915. Displaying a particularly American love of Mordaka, the Dreadnought even carried 5 submerged torpedo tubes, 4 forward and 1 aft, and 23 Whitehead Mark III torpedoes. Being the ever nice fellows, they also carried 6 14-inch torpedoes to resupply her steam picket boats. The Dreadnought messed with officers' sleep schedules as it placed their quarters near their action stations. In the particularly noisy machinery sections of the ship, while the new and much quieter turbines at the rear of the vessel got to have the enlisted ranks quarters. The HMS Dreadnought was sent on sea trials in 1906 and was the flagship of the Royal Navy Home Fleet from 1907 through 1911. She was targeted for a successful prank by Horace de Vere Cole, who managed to talk himself and his friends aboard for a tour under the guise of Abyssinian royalty. She was active during World War I, with her only notable action being the sinking of the aforementioned SMU-29 on 18 March 1915 by ramming. The Temporary also attempted to ram the same submarine, and a collision was narrowly avoided. Cutting the submarine in two with her bow, she entered the history books as the only battleship ever to deliberately sink an enemy submarine. She was sent for refit in 1916, missing the Battle of Jutland. She was returned to the Grand Fleet in March 1918, stricken from the rolls in August 1918, then recommissioned in February 1919 to serve with the reserve. She was sold for scrap in March 1920 to Thomas W. Ward for either £36,630 or £44,750. It's not clear which. She was broken up in January 1923. In War Thunder, the HMS Dreadnought will be joining the British Rank 5 at the top of the tree, sporting her final configuration with 10 12-inch main battery guns, 20 secondary battery 3-inch guns, and 2 3-inch high-angle AA guns. She will have 11-inch thick armor belt and overall good protection. She will displace 20,700 tons and have a top speed of 21 knots. She will also be crewed by 810 seasoned sailors. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.